Yo, boys, I hope you can see me alright. We're on the walking treadmill today. Filming a YouTube video because I thought we'd be double productive. And the topic of this video, believe it or not, will be fat loss, as it's something that's on my mind at the moment. I'm in a cutting phase. I think I'm 11 weeks in, 6 kilos down now. And we're very well and deep in the trenches, as you can see by the fact I'm on a walking pad filming a YouTube video. But I thought I'd come on here and just give some advice and give some lessons that I've learned in the last 11 weeks on this cutting phase. And it's been very, very productive. You know, we pulled off 6 kilo, in pretty good shape now, to be fair. So cannot complain. And I've definitely learned a lot in the last 11 weeks working with my current coach than I have in, the last couple of years. And I figure this might be useful for anyone watching. So, the first thing I've got a few things I want to go through. So if you want to take some notes, write this down, and don't click off this video because there will be some nuggets that will genuinely save you so much time, perhaps years. So I hope that anyone who clicks on this video, you watch until the end, take some notes, and just keep an open mind, as you can learn from my mistakes and use them to your own advantage. First things first, get yourself a walking pad if you're in the UK, or perhaps you run a business, or you work from home, you work remotely. One of the biggest burdens that I find being in the UK is, fortunately today it's really sunny. However, for the most part, it's rainy, it's grey, it's cold. The motivation to hit your 10k steps, which are fundamental, is very dire. And as a result, at the start of this kind of cutting phase, I wasn't actually hitting them as much. And when I was pushing myself to go for walks at 9 to 10 p.m. The reason why is because I would be busy throughout the day, and I just wouldn't find time to get it in. It wasn't until kind of halfway through I decided to buy this motherfucker right here, and now it's been very, very useful because there are a lot of tasks that I do which don't actually involve me being on the laptop. I can be on my phone. For example, this is one of them. I'm filming a YouTube video right now, and I'm enhancing my fat loss by getting more steps. I'm probably going to go over 10k steps today, which is just going to expedite the whole fat loss journey, and it's an actual game changer. So first tip, if you're someone who works remote, or you're in the cold UK, get yourself one of these. It cost me no more than £150 on Amazon, and it's been a very, very good investment. I've hit 10k steps today and I haven't left the house, so that's pretty crazy. Probably on for 20. And walking, this is tip number 2. Walking is possibly one of the best forms of fat loss. It does not increase the levels of ghrelin in the body, which is the hunger hormone, as much, and as a result you can burn calories without too much fatigue on the body. Running is possibly one of the worst forms of cardio because it just increases your hunger and makes you fucking starving for the rest of the day, which is going to cause you to crave and then likely go off plan and result in just a whole host of different problems. However, walking is just such an easy form of cardio. Everyone has access to it outside, perhaps when you're not busy, but if you've got tasks that you can be doing on your phone, if they're phone calls, if there's, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner and you need to be making content, do it whilst walking. You got to do outreach. You got to send a bunch of DMs to new prospects. Do it whilst walking. You got to create a YouTube video. Do it whilst walking. It honestly changes the game. And 10,000 steps or so burns around 400 calories. So do with that kind of information what you will. 20,000 steps burns 800. So if you're not kind of hitting your 10,000 steps just yet, I would focus all of your attention on hitting that before even implementing some sort of cardio routine, as this is your best bet. And it should be something that just is non-negotiable in your life, whether you're bulking or whether you are cutting. This is going to help you burn more calories when you're cutting and should be a staple. But even when you're bulking, it's going to aid digestion and actually allow you to eat more food. There's no worse feeling when you're on 3.5, 4k calories and you're just full and bloated all the time. Well, the simple fix to that is just walk more and it will aid digestion. And it's really, really key. So walking, definitely your best form of cardio for fat loss. On the topic of that, we'll talk about the best forms of cardio for fat loss that I've come across. And I'm going to tell you the worst one to begin with, and it's going to shock you. It's incline walking, 100%. Now, in my opinion, you can get away with incline walking at the start, especially if you're unfit. The reason why is because we need to be working in zone 2 to improve fat oxidation and actually just make sure you're efficient with your cardio. Now, depends on kind of what age you are. If you're in the 18 or 25 bracket, you're looking at around 125 to 150 BPM. Now, At the start, I could do incline walking and hit 140 BPM with ease, not working too hard. But eventually you get fitter, your body adapts, right? And I find now if I go on that treadmill and do incline walking, well, I'm actually walking at crazy speeds and crazy inclines to the point where it's not even fun. It's pretty fatiguing. And it actually just fucking hurts my calves. So I don't do it. That doesn't work for me anymore. So the two options I go for now with the three are Stairmaster, running, and cycling. However, cycling's at the same point for me as well. I'm now too fit to the point where I have to absolutely send it on that bike. And as a result, that's causing a lot of leg fatigue. So I've taken the bike out as well. So I'm now on Stairmaster and running. Now, Stairmaster is 100% the best way to burn calories, and it's just less fatiguing. It's nice and light on the legs, so I'd highly recommend that. It's really nice when you're just new into cutting as well and you've not been doing it as much as I have. For example, I do 7 days, 45 minutes. So if you're new to this, you will be able to hit the target BPM range very, very quickly. And as a result, you will burn more calories. So Stairmaster is really good. But again, I'm at the point now where I'm actually struggling to hit the BPM range. So I mix Stairmaster. I work very hard on that. And running is also a great form, but it also isn't. And I'll explain that now. Running is the opposite. Running is so easy to hit the target BPM range. It's actually very easy to go a bit over. And what I've found recently is 1 to 2 times per week, I'll go for a really, really light jog. Not like, a 25-minute 5K. That's zone 3, zone 4. I'm talking like really, really slow, conversational pace. And I'll just monitor my heart rate on my Whoop band or Apple Watch if you have one. And whenever it goes over the range, I'll simply walk. So it's a mixture of like a light jog and walk. And this is honestly a really, really good form of cardio. It works for me. The only problem with running is it can cause excess fatigue in the legs, especially when we're training legs perhaps twice per week, depending on our split. And also, it can increase ghrelin. It can make you very, very hungry. So that's why I would only keep it in 1 to 2 times per week. But a great little tool if you just can't be bothered to go to the gym and you don't want to do your Stairmaster. But other than that, best forms of cardio I'd recommend are Stairmaster, bike, and running/jogging, if you will. Another little unconventional hack is have a lot of caffeine in the mornings and go for a brisk walk. You'll notice that your heart rate is at 125 to 150 and you can get away with it. Personally, I don't like to do that at the moment, but it is a good tip. And that's kind of what I do in terms of cardio. Now, whilst on the topic of cardio, we're going to tip number 3, which is a mistake that I made in the past and I never make again, is thinking food is the enemy. Now, when anyone, on TikTok or whatever these days goes on a cut, they instantly drop their calories to 2,000 to 1,800 because they think that's the right way. But you've got to realise, right, food is fuel at the end of the day. It's going to fuel your training performance and it's going to make sure that, you're in a good spot to actually burn some calories within your cardio, your lifting, and you're actually in a position to kind of retain muscle and fucking send it in the gym, which is important because if we're not doing that and our lifts are going backwards, then, well, when we lose fat, we're going to lose muscle alongside it, and that's no good. That's not what we're trying to do. So it's really important to make sure we're not in a spot where we're extremely hungry and we're extremely depleted. We want that fine line. That's why I'm on 11 weeks in, still eating 2.4k calories on a training day and 2.1 on a rest day. And I'm still losing a shit ton of fat. Why? Because I use cardio and steps as my tool. Because it's far easier to have higher food and do more expenditure than it is to do the opposite and simply lower your expenditure and then lower your food as a result. Like your training performance suffers. It's a very backwards mindset. Someone said this on TikTok. I started TikTok the other day. I kind of regret it already. And it's just a backwards mindset. Not to mention the cardiovascular adaptations. Like you're not going to be getting fitter, which is very important. So it's really important to understand that you can keep your food high. And if you start to plateau, don't just look at, right, let's decrease food. Let's see if we can increase cardio. Because like I said, if you use the right forms of cardio, it's actually not going to make you more hungry. And in that way, you're going to have a sustainable fat loss journey because you have food in your system. And that way, you're not going to end up flat. You're not going to be losing muscle. You're still going to be looking full. And you're going to lose fat. That's exactly what's happened to me. Like I've still got muscle. All my muscles are hard. Like my chest, my back, everything's sorted. And like my abs have come through. And it's all because we've kept food high and resulted on cardio as a tool. Now, towards the tail end now, hunger will definitely be present. It fucking is for me, to be honest. Because obviously with that cardio, if we do the maths, I burn around 500 calories in the cardio on a rest day, 2.1k in, 500 out, technically on 1.6, right? but I don't know about that maths. But hunger is definitely present. But sometimes you have to be in that situation because at the end of the day, the worse you feel, the better you look. As bad as that sounds, all the woke culture is going to do me for that one, but that's the truth of bodybuilding. So I would say don't decrease your food as much as you think. And when it comes to actually organising your diet, this is tip number 4. Don't cut out your carbohydrates. I've made extensive videos on this. You can go and watch them. But actually increase your carbohydrate intake pre and post workout. So I'm actually going to head to the gym. It's 2 p.m. I'm going to head to the gym after this. I'm going to have a big fucking carbohydrate meal. 90 gram of dates, bagel, honey, might be 2 bagels. And I'm going to go train pushing arms. And it's going to be beautiful. Why? Because we've got enough glycogen being converted from the carbohydrate that's going to allow me to fuel my performance, which is going to mean I'm going to either increase my lifts or I'm going to maintain them, which means I retain muscle, potentially even recomp. Okay, not in this part of the dieting phase, but it just means I can send it in the fucking gym, which means what? I retain my muscle and I train harder. What does that mean? I burn more calories. I can also do my cardio straight after. So I would always recommend keeping your carbohydrates there. The next thing we want to talk about is accuracy when it comes to the diet and it comes to the cardio. Don't do all of this hard work. Don't watch this video, take notes, and not do this. If you're going to go into a cutting phase, you don't want to be there for a while. As a bodybuilder, someone who wants to build their physique, you need to be spending precious time in a gaining phase, bulking. Do you think I want to stay in this dieting phase forever? No. I want to get it done so I can go back to gaining fucking muscle and being in a surplus. Therefore, it is in your interest to do everything by the book and be accurate. Write out a nutrition plan or get someone to do it for you. Track everything using a scale and be accurate. Don't snack. Don't go off plan. Just have everything by the gram. Accurate. You know exactly what's coming into your body. And when you do your cardio, you know what's going out. And that way, you're not in the grey. You're not guessing. And life becomes very, very easy as a result. The same goes for your cardio. When you're doing your cardio, don't just do your half an hour prescribed. Check your heart rate. Is it in the BPM zone? If you don't have one of these, use the pulsators on the machine. They're not the best, but actually challenge yourself to be in this BPM range and have these higher standards. No one will talk about this on the Instagram or TikTok. Everyone just says, "Oh, do your cardio, do this." But I'm different. I'm here to tell you, fucking raise your standards, and that's how you're going to get more fat loss, and you're actually going to achieve the physique that you want. And that becomes from within. You've got to have this accuracy, because otherwise your efforts go to waste. At the end of the day, what if you're doing all this cardio and you're working really, really hard and you're getting your steps, but you're not tracking your food accurately? So all of the steps in cardio you do is just negligible because you're still putting fucking olive oil in the pan and putting milk in your coffees. It's silly. So get really accurate with that. And the same goes for increasing the amount of minutes you're doing on your cardio when you could have just been more efficient and done a bit more intense work, or chose a better form, as we spoke about. So that's kind of the penultimate tip. And finally, the last tip I want to talk about is not being afraid to weigh yourself every single day. A lot of people, whether they have an emotional attachment to their weight or what, only weigh themselves once a week. But you have to understand what actually dictates weight fluctuations. And that comes down to the amount of water you consume, the amount of food you consumed before, whether you had a shit sleep, whether cortisol has been spiked and you're holding on to a bit more water or even a bit more fat, whether you had a lot of salt and that's causing water retention as well. All of these things can influence your weight on a daily basis, which makes it a fair assumption to say that your weight will fluctuate. That's completely true. I see that every single day. That's absolutely fine. So what we want to do is we want to weigh ourselves daily and then get an average across the week and use that to then manipulate our diet. The worst thing you can do is only weigh yourself on a Monday, and everyone does it on a Monday, when, by the way, they've probably done something on a weekend, which is causing them off track, so it's never accurate data. And you could have weighed something completely different Sunday or Tuesday. So you're not giving yourself the most accurate data. A common theme here is just accuracy with your tracking, and you get better results. And if you do all of this, those are the secrets, guys. That's everything I've learned in a 11-week fat loss phase. I'm not just saying this in a fucking bulked up state on my high horse. I'm doing the do. Do you know what I mean? I'm 15 minutes in. That's actually quite good. I know exactly how long the video is. It's 15 minutes because I've been on this. And I've walked the walk. I do it. And I know what works and I know what doesn't. I iterate, I review my mistakes, and I'm literally pouring them out and giving you them. So listen to what I'm saying. Take it with a pinch of salt. and use it to your advantage. Oh, that's another point. Salt. Make sure you're having 6 grams of salt per day. Helps with nutrient absorption. Very, very key. Another tip. Take your supplements with meal 1, especially vitamin D, K2, and B. They're fat soluble, therefore they need to be consumed with fats. Drink 3 to 4 litres of water per day. Perhaps more if you're doing a lot of cardio. Have an electrolyte with that. Don't put all your protein in one meal. 4 to 6 meals per day. Increase carbohydrate pre and post workout. If you're struggling to get steps, buy one of these. Walk after every meal, helps with digestion. Walk in the mornings, walk in the evenings. Stop drinking caffeine after 1:30 p.m. I say that, I'm going to have a bit of caffeine after this, but fuck it. See sunlight first thing in the morning, will help with your sleep quality. Take zinc and magnesium before bed. All this helps sleep, which increases testosterone, human growth, hormone production, regulates metabolism, regulates the hunger hormones, and also makes sure that you're not increasing the levels of cortisol in the body, which would cause adverse reactions when it comes to fat loss. And like and subscribe. That's kind of everything that I've just thought of today. That might help you out. Hopefully there's a little bit of a nugget of information that you can just take away and use for your fat loss journey. Found that useful, yeah, please do like and subscribe. And if you are just fucking stuck and you're so confused and you just want someone to walk you through it, then I've got an application to literally work with me. You can book a call with me in the description or in the comment below, and I'll literally sit on a one-on-one call with you, work out exactly where you're going wrong, where you need to get to, and coach you to your best physique. So, other than that, guys, that's today's video. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll be back tomorrow, maybe on the walking pad. We'll see. I might go outside if it's nice and sunny. If not, catch you on the next one. All the best.